Hello,
Hey,
everybody, and we're back. The Coco, the Kiki, and the Coco host, Sammy. All right. So today, or now, we're gonna talk about
gonna
family.
touch on a subject that will provoke many probably. They're
Yeah,
like,
probably.
what the, who the? Yeah. So and it's because actually I woke up this morning, kind of laughing actually, and just like, it's a scam. It's just a scam. Like everything is a scam. That's one thing. But okay. So and what I meant was in my head was family, the construction of family, the mom, the dad, and the happy children is a scam.
But even wider
Yeah,
family.
yeah. Okay, yeah. But that's like the
Yeah.
basic, like, okay, so we're taught that we're successful lives, you get a good education, you get a good job, you buy a good house, you get a good marriage, and you have some beautiful children, and you
Mm.
live happily after forever, which people obviously don't. I mean, how many of us know people that live happily forever together with no traumas and no kids that are either messed up or not happy or unsuccessful or whatever? Not that I believe in success because you define your own success.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the system's way of saying the social norm, right?
Mm.
And now it's not a tragedy anymore to get a divorce because many are, and in Denmark especially, I think it's 50%. And
Okay.
50% of the population is
Wow.
living apart. They may be in relationships, but they live apart. And yeah, so that's quite crazy. So it's no longer a big sin to get divorced. And the kids that are born into families that split up are no longer like targeted totally.
Yeah. Looked down
But
upon. Yeah.
see, I believe now, and it's something I also was taught or read or heard way back, and I forgot it, that it's a construction. It's again a construction. We are taught to do all these things that we will never succeed 100% in. We
Mm.
will never. Um, and to always feel like failures because at divorce, I remember when I got divorced back then, I felt as a failure, totally.
No.
It hits men's worse because they're, competitive
No.
nature, but it was a failure.
No.
And sometimes I would hardly like to go to different parks with the kids because I was like, everybody could see in my forehead she's
Mm.
divorced because she's not walking with her. It was so bad
Mm.
for me
Okay.
when I didn't know better back then. Because I believe in happy parents are better parents than staying in a
Yeah.
relationship where they're not happy. Because remember, we're teaching our kids to
Yeah.
copy what we're doing.
Yeah.
So when you let kids grow up in unhappy or
Yeah.
dysfunctional families, this is what you make.
Yeah, they don't learn what you
No,
say. They learn
no,
what they
exactly,
see. Yeah,
exactly.
and what they live
So
in. Yeah.
I always push people to get divorced when they're dysfunctional and they tried everything, of course, therapy,
Mm.
whatever, and really feel like, okay, this is really a dead end now. Um, so again, so I've heard when I looked at the indigenous people, uh, the native people, they actually don't live in this family construction.
Mm.
They leave their kids direct instantly to the grandparents
Mm.
because they're wiser, life experience, and have the time,
Mm.
while the parents are still building careers or houses or
Yeah.
whatever. Because nobody can have kids, have a happy, loving relationships, have
Have
a
a
full
job.
time job,
Yeah.
go to fitness and look trim, be the perfect friend as well.
Mm.
Nobody can do that. And perfect child.
Juggle all these
You
balls.
can't.
No,
You
you
get
can't.
stressed. This is why everybody's stressed because they're trying to, because they believe they should,
Yeah.
right? Somebody saying we should to be successful. And
Yeah.
it's just not possible. And the people where it looks like it's a lie.
Yeah.
And I have actually researched on purpose one person, actually a famous person in Denmark, that lived this perfect family life with 3 kids. And I found out under the rock what's hidden. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I gave up on this. And then I always felt drawn to, how the old westerns, and this woman would stand with her rifle on the front porch when somebody came, and the kids in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then every like 8 months, the man would come back from
Yeah.
the hunting with
Yeah.
skin and meat and whatever. Fine,
Yeah.
they would have a good time, maybe make some more babies and off again.
Yeah.
This is the way I think is
Then
more normal.
okay. Okay.
And in some cultures, the kids like they when they start growing up, they find out, oh, this is a good builder, or this is a warrior kid,
Yeah.
or this is a good collector. They live in houses where they all are builders
Yeah.
with grown-ups that are builders.
Yeah.
And they're taught the
And
skills and nurtured
they
in
learn
what
the
they're good
trade.
at,
Yeah,
instead of forcing a builder to be a warrior, like
yeah,
here in the
yeah,
school system.
yeah,
Or and they live together. Of course, they see their parents,
yeah,
but everybody's taking care of the kids.
yeah,
My kids is your kids, vice versa.
yeah,
Here, everybody's kid is your own. You dare not even tell a kid, somebody's
yeah,
kid to be a little quiet or whatever in the street or in the park or if they're noisy, because it's my kid and don't you dare to whatever.
yeah,
And as we see, all families in the Western world are they're split up and they're vulnerable.
yeah,
The parents are put on old houses or live far away, grandparents, or out playing golf, depends on what end you are on the scale. The families are split up, or if they're still together, um, the woman becomes so male that she doesn't follow the man, the man is often a good leader, or should be, could be if he was allowed to be it.
no,
So she doesn't listen because she's out getting money in too, which takes her away from the children.
yeah,
He's out too, getting away from the children. I mean, everything is just stupid. And
yeah.
then
And
you
then you
leave
give
the
your
kids
kids
to
to the
some
system.
strangers
Yeah,
that you don't know what the hell, and
yeah.
it doesn't really always go that
And the
well.
funky thing is that that job that you actually work to provide is supposed to also provide for you in old age. That
Yeah.
many of these things don't work,
No.
like the pensions and
No.
that have been drained. The funds have been drained, and you can't advance anymore. And all of this old story of get a good job and then you rise in ranks and stuff like that, and you save up, and then finally you will be able to lean back. It's like, no, that life hasn't worked like that since forever, and what you learn in school has nothing to do with real life. It's like mostly so much of it is stupid stuff which you'll never use again.
I saw the funniest
just-
meme yesterday. Remember I don't know what's called, it's Block Floyd.
Yeah,
They
the
said-
recorder.
Yeah.
They call.
They said it was a picture of it, and the meme said, "What the f did this teach me?" And we were all playing it, forced to play. It sounded terrible, and nobody made like a career. It's like, what is this? Remember?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But another place that I read was I thought about. They said that actually the families, what's needed from nature is when there is a child on the way, of course, the man support the woman. And they stay together for 2 years because only the first 2 years are important for the child and the mother for that support because they're vulnerable still. After that, no. And then we force each other to stay together. And we stay together because of the kids.
Yeah.
Because when I ask friends and even myself, if I didn't have kids with you, would we be talking together? No. See? This is crazy when the game is over. Of course, there's family where it's not over. I totally agree. I'm not saying everybody should split up. I'm just saying if you're not happy where you are, and if your partner is not supporting you and actually dimming your light, which often happens because you come into these stupid small fights. I did that, you didn't do that, and blah, 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 blah.
Becomes a competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of,
Then you must leave and stop it. But people don't, because they don't have the courage. And this is again another thing. They took the truth out of our mouth. The courage is gone to stand in your own truth. And again, as I always taught myself and my kids, you always ask in a situation, is this good for me and the people involved in the situation? And if you get a clear yes, you have to react on it. You have to act on it. Get a no, well, fine. Usually you know. So family structure, think about it. Are you like, what is this really? It's a consumer thing. The holiday, the Christmas, the gift, the perfect Christmas tree, the bigger the better. All this.
Yeah, there's lots of that, but there's also I was just like, I mean, with my process of waking up, or what you want to call it, or diving into my consciousness, or expanding it, or whatever you want to call it. I just also saw it also in the next ring. Like I used to have this extremely close relationship to my grandmother, and it's not that I don't have that, but there was like the part of it that was just the construct. That part is gone. The guilt part, all of that. It's like I have great thankfulness and I and the bond is there, but it's not. But the part of it that was a construct that part, just
Mm.
those chains are broken. That's funky.
Mm.
I would never have thought that possible.
No.
But things are changing.
Yeah, it's about questioning, like feeling and questioning.
Yeah.
Why am I here in this relationship, or why do I have this friend? And like really ask
friends. Oh my God.
yourself, like, why do you like? I used to do that with my friends sometimes, every now and then. I would, because I don't really have anybody to mirror my own life. I never really had, because I obviously was very different. My upbringing was everything was different, so I couldn't compare or measure or whatever.
Yeah.
Which can be important when you grow up, because you. So sometimes I would feel like if some situation happened, and I was told I was crazy, which is a typical word to like shame people. You're crazy. Then I would call my friends, am I crazy? In the situation, because I was like, okay, maybe I am, because there's nobody else doing it like this. And they would say, no, you're not crazy, you're just like this, and you have your own mind about that, and that.
I just thought you have like 4 SMSs you can send, like, well, can't talk now, I'm driving. And your second one is, am I crazy?
Okay, so they would always like get me back on track and say, no, you're not. But then I would have with my friends, I would sometimes ask them, why are we friends? And often we couldn't. Then we started, like, just like these games, like, say 3 nice things about me, or if you should explain me to somebody else, what would you say? It's a really good way to make you think and others think about, what is this relationship? What are the qualities? What is the exchange, right? To stop sometimes and say like this, but we don't. We just run through life. Right? So busy with all this. I think one of the worst things that happened, remember back in the days, Daddy would go, not mine, but from work to the bar. And before he went home, this is the hats, like we're leaving one hat there, next one, chilling, talking, whatever. They don't talk that much, men, but adapting, adjusting, and then you go home. Now, go right from work to back, and the mom standing with the kids. Here, your turn. What? You can't. You can't navigate that. I can't. I mean, I remember my daughter's dad and I. That's many, many years ago. I think I told the story before. On a tape. We had 2 homes at some point, and we decided, listen. And he was very cool. He said, listen, Dad's not that important. I mean, he is, but it's the educator is important. I mean, my kids can just as well have a conversation with the bus driver and learn something. I don't have to be there every day. No, you know what I mean. It can be the figure can be many people. It doesn't have to be the dad or the mom. Okay, so we decided that he stayed in the one home all week and could work with good conscience. Don't feel stressed. Oh, I have to get home now. No, the babies go to bed now, and I have to say hi and blah, blah. And I could be with my girlfriends that are the same state, again, like the indigenous, same vibe. We have kids, they're growing up, we bitch about the man or not, all this stuff, and support each other. And then he would come in the weekend and play dad, as we said, for fun, which was super cool because he came charged, his job was done well, good energy, happy, and could be totally fulfilled there for those days, of course, plus minus, I mean. And I remember we introduced it on a New Year's Eve in 2001. At the table with the other couples, and they were like, "What?" Because we said, let's get a big house and have the women and the kids there, and we can just live with whatever small scruffy apartment. We don't need much and work, and then come. We provide, fine. They can live. They can have their happy.
That is that Western thing.
It is
that cowboy thing there.
They didn't get it, but fine. But we actually practiced it for a long time like that. It was super cool.
Wow.
And then we also longed to see each other, and we look forward to seeing each other.
Okay, that's nice.
And put in the more effort. You don't put in effort every day because we don't have the energy.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to, right? We don't do that, and then it becomes everyday life, and it's just blah 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 blah, and just keep it going. And that's what we're teaching our kids. Just keep it going.
Actually, now that we're in this, should we also talk about the because that's also a thing that has been up lately, all the karmic contracts ending.
The what?
Karmic contracts.
Oh yeah, karmic. I said comic.
No, not comic.
I haven't heard that. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Some of it might be comic,
yes,
but most of it ain't.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if some of our viewers have realized this, but it's very funny that lately there has been like this theme, very much in my life, of like connections which you were used to, friendships which we were used to, suddenly just drifting apart. It's like from one day to the next, the well's dried up, and there's nothing to meet over anymore. Whether it is because you don't drink no more or you don't do other stupid stuff no more, I don't know. But even in friendships where it's not like that, just realized, wow, this this used to take up a huge space in my life, and suddenly it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had some of those?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to anybody, you know, that besides you and maybe what's my thought in the cat. No, yeah. I mean, it's always been weird with this karmic thing. I never really liked it. I liked it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I kind of again gives you some blame. There's something I never really understood about it. I didn't really like it.
You know what I realized lately was that there was one that put it quite nice. Do you believe in the free will of life?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, do you believe in karma?
It's
hard to believe in both.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's also what I was taught. Okay, so we have karmic contracts, and if you hit somebody in last life, maybe somebody will hit you in this life, and it has to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Learning curves all the time, and that made kind of sense because when I had some very tragic and very challenging situations, I have not had an easy life. I would say most would agree when they hear the stories. And when I was always sit with the clairvoyants and be like, why me? And they would be, well, you chose it. Like, what? No, I did not. I want to see that contract. You know, like, and the best explanation was, and I really liked it. That's when I finally got some peace and learned to take full responsibility of my life.
God, yeah.
That was when a clairvoyant told me in one of my desperate moments, said, listen, it's like this. Before you incarnate, you go into the big office, and they pull out the drawer with your life, the previous life, and they say, they ask you, what do you want to learn in the next life? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Who do you want to meet up with? I want to get married and have 3 kids. Yeah, okay, go find a soul that will agree to that. You go out of the office, you pick a soul, and in this level, doesn't exist, so I pick a soul, and the soul says, yes, of course, we get married, we have 2 kids. Go back in the office. What do you want to work with? Well, I want to be a firefighter. Okay. Where do you want to live? And so on. You actually
choose
pick
all of that.
Everything out of desire to learn, to experience. Oh, I want to be sitting in a wheelchair. Okay. Oh, I want to die of alcohol. Because you want to experience all this. I want to die of hunger. Yeah. I only want to live 2 days. Okay. Seriously. And then you sign up for that, and then they look at your previous life and say, yeah, okay, you did that, you lived in the Sahara, you did all these things, but you forgot. I mean, that when that guy came and you were supposed to get married, that was a soul contract, a karmic contract. And you broke it. You said no. So that's, you have to do it again. Play it again, Sam. Shit. And you have to. And they actually say that all people we meet on Earth, this is getting out now, but in now, we all follow in every incarnation. We all had some kind of connection. Nobody's new. We have free will, just like I didn't marry that guy I said yes to when I came to Earth. We have free will, of course, but we have signed up for different jobs. And of course, they hold you to it because you don't, you don't get all past the degree before you actually, manage the topic. Yeah. And then you go back out and you hang out with your soul family. We have a soul group that we always follow with. So every time we get through one incarnation, we chill with them, hang out, we fix each other up, we nourish each other if it's been a tough ride and so on, and then we drop back. You don't have to meet them on Earth, but when you do, And I met at least 3, and I know. Okay. And it's very, interesting. It's just like meeting your best brother or sister. Yeah. You don't have to explain anything. No. So it's very interesting. So that's the karmic thing. But then, and I always use this sentence when people are shitty, I always say, just remember, the karma police is always one work on duty, which is true. And in many years I had instant karma, which was not nice. Smack it in the face. And now they say, as you said, the karmic connections are removed because it's also a structure they made. Yeah. They, and who are they? The people that thrive on us not thriving. Yeah. The loosh. Yes. They made this construct to keep us in guilt and shame and feeling, oh, this is why this has happened, and I probably was a bad person, and this is why, and so on. But to take it to another level, which I think is nicer, just take full responsibility, everything, and there's no coincidences in life, and there's cause and effect. So, of course, if I push you, you may push back. Not now. And if you don't do it because you're all Buddha like, somebody will suddenly I go down the street and I get this one. And I always wonder, what the?
Why?
And I think, okay, it must be, you know, so I don't get agitated or it didn't, you know, it doesn't work me up anymore.
I actually heard a very interesting theory on that doesn't really make sense. The school of life and all of that, then you have to be the abuser, then you have to be the abused, then you have to be this, and then you have to, for what? I mean, it's like, what do you learn by that? By, you know, just, and that it's just harvesting, you know, that it's just the energy harvesting of keeping us in sorrow and keeping us in, which I found, when I heard it, I was like, ooh, that, actually for the first time, I suddenly thought different about karma. And I find it interesting that it's up right now in many things I watch, that there's talk about karma being over. And that part, we're ridding ourselves of that part, which is also interesting. And it's not like there's not cause and effect. It's, I mean, it of course, when you do something bad, and it will in some way affect you. So that I don't think it's that, but the thing of, you know, being trapped in the karma wheel, that part is said to be
I don't know.
finished. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, who's got the answer to that? Nobody's got. But there's something that resonated with me.
I still like the part about the education system on a spiritual level, because then the next question would be, but why do I want to learn? Why did I sign up to learn how to be abandoned, or why? Because the more, of course, and this is like being an empath, the more you have experienced things, the more you can guide and help others.
True,
you can understand. You've been in the shoes. And this I get. And this is also why people that have, you say, hard lives often are the ones that either commit suicide or totally end up shining very bright to help the others around. And again, the others, there are no the others. We are all one.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we leave it at that note?
Yes.
I think that's a good ending for this long episode. All right.
Okay.
So see you soon, guys.
Bye-bye.
Remember to subscribe, like, share, and all the good stuff.
Very important. Just do it.
And do your own research, of course.
Yes. And question what we're saying.
And once more, comment would help us, because, you know, and if you got something you want us to talk about, just, you know, write it. We'll see that we can pick it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See you on the next one.
Ciao, ciao.